Hey guys, Tiffany with another video, and this is going to be on the MakeupGeek Manny MUA palette collaboration. I was not going to do this video only because I received my palette later. Like, I literally just received my palette a couple of days ago, and I know that there are so many videos out and so many tutorials and things like that, but a lot of you guys have been asking me if I had gotten this palette, and then I just kind of felt like, you know what, I owed it to you guys to come and let you know my thoughts on it. There may be a lot of videos out, but those videos aren't my videos. So I am going to go ahead and show you guys the palette, and I'm also going to tell you guys about my experience with the palette. So if you don't want to hear my little, I don't even want to call it a rant, but if you don't want to hear how I actually ended up getting the palette, then I will be sure to leave a time frame somewhere within the video so you can know where you need to skip to. But yeah, let's get started. So I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's raining cats and dogs. Who came up with that? Raining cats and dogs. It's raining like really bad here. We're on like a flood watch for like the next 3 days or whatever here in Savannah. So I know my lighting is going to be a little bit weird. It's probably going to be a little darker than normal just because I don't have any natural lighting coming into the room, but we're going to roll with it. Again, this is the MakeupGeek Manny MUA palette collaboration. Manny is really big here on YouTube, not just on YouTube. He's really big in the makeup world, but especially here on YouTube, and I want to say he got his start here on YouTube. He's a really great makeup artist, and you guys know I love MakeupGeek eyeshadows. So when I heard that this palette was coming out, like, they did a promo for it way in advance, so I was really excited about this palette, and I was like, I don't care what happens, I'm gonna get my hands on this palette. I tell you guys, I literally stayed up overnight for this palette, and I have not stayed up overnight for a makeup release since like probably like a MAC collection back in the day. You guys remember when MAC used to come out with the collections and we used to stay up like all night because we didn't know at what time they were going to release them? I have not done one of those since then, but I really wanted this palette. I stayed up for the release of it, and then they actually came out with a time, and I don't quite remember if it got released Pacific time or if it was like Mountain time, but for whatever time I thought it was supposed to release, it ended up releasing earlier. So I had set my time for the time I thought it was going to be, and then by the time I got on there and I saw that the palette sold out, and I heard it sold out within like the first 30 minutes, I was so hurt. I almost cried. I was that hurt. Like, it hurt my heart so bad. And then there was nothing about when it was going to be released again or anything like that. So at first I was like, well, you know what? I know someone's going to be selling the palette, so I'll just wait and see what the prices are for when it comes out. But y'all, people were selling this palette for like $60 above the actual price. They were taking the actual price of it and then adding on like $60 plus more, which I thought was crazy. Like, I'm one of those people, I'll pay about $20–$30 for a palette that I really want, especially if it's limited edition. I know I'm not going to be able to get my hands on it, but $60? Like, that's crazy. That's selfish. And I was just like, okay, I guess it's not meant for me to have this palette. But then I actually went on the MakeupGeek website, and this is what I'm going to suggest that some of you guys do, because I don't know anything about when it's going to be coming out again. I didn't even know that they were going to be releasing it again. I went on the MakeupGeek website, I signed up for notifications, and a few days after that, I got this email, this random email that was like, we're doing a release. To those of you who requested a palette notification, there was a limit. You could only get one palette. You could only go through the link that they sent you in the email to get the palette. Like, it was real secretive. It wasn't even put on like social media or anything like that. It was like that hush hush, and that is how I actually ended up getting my palette. So the only thing I can suggest you guys doing if you want this palette is definitely go on the MakeupGeek website. I'll leave a link to it down below, and sign up for notifications, and then that way you guys can possibly get the palette, because I didn't think I was going to be able to get this, because I was not going to pay all that money, all that extra money for a palette. I wasn't going to do it. But them notification alerts. I keep telling y'all, sign up for in-stock alerts, notification alerts, because you never know when you're gonna get your blessing. So let's go ahead and get into the palette now. As far as the packaging of it, it is that like cardboard type of packaging. It has a champagne gold or like a rose gold and black color theme to it. And then on the back of the palette, it does say Manny MUA. And then it has the names of the eyeshadows in the inside, which I really love that and I appreciate, because not every palette comes with the name. Sometimes they have the film over it, so you have to sort of keep the film or else you don't know the names of palettes. So I do love that you permanently have the names on the palette. And then Manny does have a little message with his picture on the back, and it says, "This palette can be worn by anyone and everyone regardless of age or race. I wanted to make sure of that. I worked so hard on this palette and I couldn't be happier with the results. Manny MUA." So I really love that a lot of the shades in here are catered for all skin tones. You can definitely appreciate that, because again, not all palettes sometimes consider us women of color, us brown girls. So I am thankful that these palettes are wearable. They are these shadows that I'm wearing on my eyes today. I'll give you guys a closer look as we get more into it. But I'm just going to go ahead and start with the swatches. And I'm just going to go by row and across this way. So I'll do 3, 3, and then 3. So here are the first 3 shades swatched on my finger. Here is Artemis. This one is Beaches and Cream. And then right here you have Luna. And then here is how they swatch on my hand. Again, this shade is Artemis. I'm wearing this as a underbrow highlight mixed with Beaches and Cream. Beaches and Cream is the only matte within these 3. And again, this one right here is Luna. And I'm actually wearing Luna on my lid today. So here are the next 3 shades swatched. Right here is Cosmopolitan, which I want to say is a permanent shade, I believe. This shade is Sora, and then this shade right here is Frappe, which I know for sure is permanent because I have it already. And then here are how they swatch. Right here is Cosmopolitan. Right here is Sora. I'm wearing Cosmopolitan in my inner corner today. This is Sora, which I was wearing as a all over lid or a base lid shade. And right here is Frappe, which I wore as a transition shade today. So I'm pretty much wearing almost all of the colors inside the palette today. And then here are the final 3 shades swatched. This is Insomnia, which again is my favorite MakeupGeek pigment. And then this one is Mars. And then this shade right here is Aphrodite. I want to say these 2 are new, and like I said, although this was a pigment, it's never been in a pressed pigment form, so that's definitely something new. And then here they are swatched. No idea how I got them to the side of my arm, but right here is Insomnia. This one is Mars, and again, this is Aphrodite. And even though I said like I was so excited to wear Insomnia, I'm not wearing Insomnia on my lid just because I felt like so many people, when they did their makeup reviews and tutorials, everyone went for Insomnia. So I wanted to do something a little different for you guys. But I am wearing Mars and Aphrodite, which are the 2 deeper shades in my outer V. And this is the eye look that I came up with. Oh, I'm also wearing Mars and Frappe on my lower lash line. So again, this is the eye look, and I really love it. So overall, I would have to say that I am really impressed with this palette. I am so happy and so thankful that I was able to get my hands on it. Do I feel like this palette is worth the hassle? I definitely do. I feel like if you're able to get your hands on it, go for it. Even when I ordered the palette, it still took a couple of weeks for it to reach me. That wasn't a big deal. I was just so happy that I was finally going to be able to get it. They did send out a message saying that, you know, they were trying to deal with the secret release orders, and then they still had like back orders from, I guess, the first release. So I was really patient about it. I just, you know, I was just happy when I finally received it. I will say though that I didn't ever get any tracking information. I did get an order confirmation, but I never got any tracking information. I didn't know when it was going to come. It just showed up in my mailbox. But again, I'm not complaining because I did get it. All of the shades are really nice. Like I said, I pretty much used majority of the shades except for this one. The one thing I will say is that Mars is really like gritty. Like when you swatch it, it has like a gritty type of feel to it, but then when you use it on the eyes, it doesn't apply harsh or anything like that. But just like swatching it and putting my finger in it, it has like a really gritty type of feel. But other than that, all of the eyeshadows are really creamy, really buttery, super pigmented. So I definitely feel like it is worth stalking the website. It is worth adding them on Instagram, on whatever social media accounts they have. Like I said, if you want this palette, definitely go ahead and sign up for notifications, because you never know when they're going to release it. I know they said that they were probably going to do a couple more releases before it just goes like bye-bye. So if you guys want it, definitely take the time to link up to their social media so you can be the first to like hear anything about it. But I do think it's worth it, as long as you're not paying an arm and a leg for it. Like, don't go on these websites that are charging you like $60, $70 extra for a palette, because although it's pretty, I'm 90%, maybe 80% sure that you can, if not find shades that are dupable, you can find something close to it. So I wouldn't say that it's worth going out and paying all that extra money, but I do feel like it's definitely worth stalking their websites, because all in all, I'm really happy with this palette. I know that there are so many videos out, so many tutorials and things like that. So if you guys want to see how I came up with this eye look again, I'm really loving it, let me know and I'll recreate it. But if not, it's fine, because I know you guys have seen a million, billion, trillion tutorials ever since it first came out. But let me know what you guys think of the video. Let me know what you think of this palette, and if you were able to get your hands on it, let me know what you think and all that other good stuff down below in the comment section. And until next time, bye YouTube.